What's up, you guys? Micah276 here. Happy Sunday and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to take a look at this guy, the Midland HH54VP handheld weather radio. And I want to make a quick video going over the things that people like about this radio and the things that people don't, and my experience with having had this radio as a regular part of my setup for almost 10 years now, probably about 9 or so. Before we dive into that, I would like to start with a quick disclaimer that this video is not sponsored by Midland. I am not affiliated with Midland in any way, nor am I trying to sell you this. This is just my honest impressions on the Midland HH54VP and whether or not it still has a regular place in my setup after such a long duration, which this video will hopefully answer exactly that question. So let's dive in. This is just my real world experience using the HH54, along with common feedback that users of the HH54 have provided about what they like and dislike about this radio. Just to be clear up front, this is not what you might think with a radio. It does not have AM or FM. As you can see, it is not hand crank. So it is different from the WR120 in the sense that it does not have the capability for AM, FM, which, unless I'm remembering incorrectly, the WR120 does. Anybody in the comment, feel free to correct me if I am wrong on that. It does not have a hand crank. It is not solar charged or anything. It is a designated NOAA weather radio, and that is exactly what it's meant to be. So as you can see, the Midland HH54VP is a compact handheld radio designed to receive NOAA weather alerts. It supports all 7 channels and is meant for weather awareness and emergency alerts, whether that's at home, in your car, camping, or as a backup, so you are not 100% reliant on your phone when it matters most. Things people like about this radio. One of the biggest things that I have read most consistently with positive feedback on the HH54 is its how simple and how focused it is. There aren't a lot of extra features, and for many people that is a good thing. Nice and simple, and you know exactly what it's going to do, especially when you need it most. There aren't once you tune in to your local channel, we'll show you that in a second, the radio is easy to use and does exactly as it's supposed to. The weather alerts are clear and reliable, which, especially in terms of a weather radio, is important. When it goes off, you're going to have no uncertainty as to whether it did or not. We'll also play an alert test in a moment as well. Another commonly mentioned thing is both its size and portability. It's small enough that you can easily carry it, clipping it onto a belt or a bag, hence the clip there that you can see, or keep it in a glove compartment or an emergency kit, and it is not going to take up that much space at all. The buttons are large and very easy to press. They're also nice and tactile. I mean, they're really clicky, which for me, I like. I went to college in Vermont, so for those of you that have been on the channel since the beginning, you've probably seen this radio featured in some of the catches there. And what that has to do with the good about the buttons being clicky is that if you have thicker winter gloves on, they are very easy to operate even with gloves on. The buttons are also, the backlight is really good, so especially if you're in low light situation, the light on the display is going to be really solid. And again, going back to those super big and clicky buttons, they are not hard to find even in the dark. And the build quality is another plus. I mean, this thing is built like a tank. I bought it probably about 9 years ago or so, and it's gone through some pretty rough stuff. And it is still surviving completely fine after all that time. It does not feel flimsy. It's handled very well with day-to-day use, whether that's putting it in a backpack, clipping it to my belt, carrying it, dropping it, etc. All the things that could happen day in and day out. And also, a lot of people just appreciate that it is a dedicated weather radio. No distraction, no extra modes, just weather alerts when you need them. Now, there are downsides to this, so what those are, one of the most common complaints is speaker volume. If you're inside, it's fine. I'll show you the volume in a minute. But if you're outside and dealing with a lot of environmental noise, so especially in a severe weather event, rain, wind, hail, thunder, etc., anything that might create excessive noise, even with the WR120 or HH54 at its loudest, you still might have some difficulty hearing it. So that is one weakness. Another downside is the lack of alternative power options. For the HH54, the same with the WR120 as well, you are limited to only two power options. We will take off the clip and the battery back so I can show you. So one of two power options for the HH54 is it runs off of 3 AA batteries. So if you are carrying the radio just on its own and are not near a wall, it will run off of 3 AA batteries. You could do that solely as the power source for this radio, but it would not be ideal in the sense that every time the batteries died, you would have to replace those. So it does also have the option to do with a standard AC adapter that can go either into a wall outlet or a strip. So this is a 9-volt, 300 milliamp charger. And if you're plugging it in with the AC adapter to the wall, you can leave it running constantly. But if you are not using the AC adapter and just the AA batteries, you are limited to purely the life of those batteries before you have to change them again. And obviously that will vary greatly depending on how often you are using the radio. Some people also mention that while the buttons are easy to use, they can also sometimes feel a little bit soft or spongy. I haven't had that experience, so I'm not sure exactly what people are referring to when they say soft or spongy with the buttons. But if anyone in the comment section has the HH54 and either has an understanding of what that might be, or maybe you're one of the people who the buttons feel soft and spongy for, I would love a little clarification as to what that means. For me, they have a very firm and clicky feel, but some people say they don't, so I'd be interested to know a little more in detail as to what that meant. Lastly, while the radio is compact, it's small in size. I mean, here's a book for scale, so it's really not that much bigger than just your standard like paperback book. It's not thin. It is a little on the chunky side compared to a phone or smaller electronics, which, depending on how you plan to carry it, whether that's in a pants pocket or a jacket pocket or on your belt using a clip or a clip to a bag, that may be a little bit more cumbersome depending on the method of carry you choose. But for me, that's not a deal breaker, and obviously, given I've had it as long as I have, this radio has worked very well. And to answer the question that sparked this video, has the Midland HH54 earned a spot in my radio setup, especially in the long term? And the direct answer, straight to the point to that question, is yes. Overall, the Midland HH54 is a very dependable NOAA weather radio. It doesn't try to do anything fancy, but it delivers reliable weather alerts in a compact and easy-to-use form. If your main goal is staying informed during severe weather events, without relying on your phone, this radio is absolutely going to get that done for you. The limitations are mostly trade-offs rather than deal breakers, especially if you value simplicity and reliability over extra features. If you found this video helpful, feel free to hit that like button, leave a comment with your thoughts or experiences, and consider subscribing for more radio and tech-related content. Thanks for watching. This was another Micah 276 video, and I'll catch you next time.